welcome to Geek Bros Inc. This will be the first Power Ranger review episode, and we'll be starting with the Psycho Silver Blue Ranger 2-pack. So here we go, here's the box. Some of the Tom Whalen art on the box, did such a good job. There we go, battle posing. And we can see it comes with the blast effects, weapons, and different heads. Got a civvy head and a ranger head. Alright. Alright, as you can probably see, I do like Power Rangers. Been collecting ever since Day of the Dumpster, which would be 1993. That's a while ago.
It was a very long time ago. Just saying, what's nice is I do enjoy the Lightning collection, which is the current collection name. It's the Lightning. Legacy is definitely nicer, but the Lightning is definitely a good one for the figures.
Well, what do you like better about the Legacy collection?
I like the Legacy collection because I feel like there's more weapons. I know it sounds like you have the Dragon Dagger, the Saba.
Well, I mean, as far as like actual weaponry goes, the replicas, this one would be the Lightning collection Dragon Dagger. And it does light up, and it does have different modes and everything like that, which I can do a review on this on a later episode. But yeah, so far this one is pretty much the only one that the Lightning collection has. The Legacy collection did have morphers. Well, Lightning does too, but it had the Power Sword, it had Saba, it had the Gold Ranger's Power Staff, it had the Blade Blaster. So yeah, but Lightning collection is still kind of just starting on weapons, and there are plans to do more weapons later on. So that's what you meant, replica weapons, right?
Replica weapons, not real weapons.
Because as far as these go, this does come with an array of weapons and things.
Yes, I mean the replica.
You can kind of see from like the other Psychos, like with Psycho Green, it's basically the same model that's just been repainted, basically. Although, I don't know why it took them so long to get to this, if they were just repainting it, because this one has been in pre-order for months, and finally got it. Here is Psycho Silver. And I believe Psycho Silver debuted in the In Space episode 5 of a Kind. That was where the Rangers all dressed up as a Blue Ranger, because it was just another strategy to help them defeat them, because Psycho Silver, the Psycho Rangers in general, were just kicking the ever-loving crap out of the Space Rangers. Mostly because they got their power from Dark Spectre. He's a bad guy.
He is a bad guy. Was this also one of the crossover episodes with...
There, and see, we can see there.
With Lost Galaxy?
Yeah, so Lost Galaxy had the crossover, I think it was to the 10th power, where they had, well, basically the Psycho Rangers were digitized into cards, and then I think it was Diabolical who got his hands on the cards and reanimated them, and then Trakina's like, well, we're gonna take out the Rangers and you're gonna help me or else. Because she like put shock collars on them or something. So yeah, that was, they all came back. All the Space Rangers came back except for Zayn. I don't remember Zayn actually being there. But yeah, you had the core 5 Rangers, and then all the Galaxy Rangers, including Magna Defender, who was Mike at the time, Leo's brother. And they basically killed all of the Psycho Rangers except for Psycho Pink. She survived, and then she went to go get the Savage Sword. We've never actually had the Savage Sword in an official line, but you can get them from like different custom makers. Here and there, you know, check YouTube, check Etsy where you can find those. You know. And then she killed Kendrix, who was the Galaxy Pink Ranger at the time. It was kind of sad because Valerie Vernon, the actress, she actually had cancer, so she had to, step down for a little while. But they brought her back at the end. That was when that happened. They brought Melody Perkins back on, who played Astronema, and she became the new Pink Ranger.
Yeah, and I think she did a good job as the Pink Ranger. It was sad that the original one had cancer. She survived.
She's still alive.
She's still alive.
She's a survivor.
She didn't die from cancer. She's still alive, and
then here's the Zayn Head there, the Zayn sculpt.
Well, actually, sometimes with the sculpts, sometimes they look really good, and sometimes they do not.
Well, I think for some of the later ones, they're actually scanning them, when they 3D print them. And then for some of the older ones, they were just using like old pictures, which usually isn't always the best to translate from 2D to 3D. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And all the Psychos also came with a lightning hand, too. And then here's the TJ Blue Ranger and Space Blue Ranger. So there's that one. There. So yeah, with these, I always thought that the boxes for the different colors on the Rangers, the stripe across, is always a bit small on that one. As we can actually have the original from Bandai, and I actually do like how they did the stripes on this one a lot better.
And the color seems that on the Bandai one seems a little bit more richer than.
Even though this one's like 20 years old.
Even though that one's 20 years old, the color still feels.
The color still held up.
It's still held up, and it still feels very rich. It still feels like it's a good.
Look at the belt buckle there too.
Yeah, it's definitely the Bandai definitely has a lot more detail than the Hasbro.
Yeah, hear that, Hasbro? You better step it up. So yeah, this is the original, and it did have different points of articulation: the legs, the knees, arms, elbows, the head. I don't think moved because this button would light up the little gizmo in the head, but batteries are kind of dead after 20 years. So there's that one. And then this one, Hasbro has more points of articulation. The shoulders, elbows, it's got the double jointed elbow, hands, head.
Well, the head should be able to move since you can take it off.
Waist. And then all the points over here, the knees are also double jointed on all of them. Yeah, so the head essentially sits on a little gimbal inside, and then you can put civvy heads or
Oh no, TJ. TJ's.
So here's a civvy head there. Civvy head.
And that's also another good
So yeah, it
sculpt
goes in there.
of
Goes
TJ.
in the little gimbal ball joint when you take this one off.
That's also, like I said, that's not a bad sculpt of TJ either.
Right. And here's the Astro Axe.
Is everyone from the Lightning Collection space, have they all been released?
Yes, although a lot of people are still waiting on Pink Cassie.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because when they first came out, the stripes on the arms there, they
Mm-hmm.
were kind of have a different placement on here. But the Pink Ranger did not have any stripes whatsoever on the initial one. And so a lot of people were emailing them like, hey, stop screwing up the paint job. I mean, it's not that hard because there are thousands upon thousands of reference material photos. There's episodes on Netflix, on YouTube. I mean, it's right there. It's not very hard to translate that verbatim to a figure. It shouldn't be as hard as they're making it sometimes. And then here's the Astro Blaster. Has some nice paint details on it. So you can see the red stripe. They actually put that in there. And it fits in the little holster here. So yeah, there's in space blue, and then there's also the Psycho Blue. Psycho Blue, he messed TJ up like hard during their battles. I mean, he messed him up so bad that he actually put TJ in the hospital wing of the mega ship, and then he was so traumatized that when he woke up in like a defensive stance, because he just had like nightmares about getting beat up so bad. I don't think anyone actually took as much damage as TJ did during the fight. Now, granted that the Psychos brought them to their knees several times during battle. I think TJ was the only one who actually ended up in the hospital wing for a while there. And there's also this effect piece. This has actually been in a few different boxes now. And on the box, see, it'll go on the tip there of the Astro Axe, but really you could put it wherever you can fit it, because there's actually like a little slit right there, so it can go on different swords, guns, whatever. And of course it has the different hand poses, fists, lightning, all that. And this one is like a little karate chop, like a Although the one that didn't have is that they always did this. This was the one that the Space Rangers did. They did this when they were about to do a move or I don't know, weapon combination or whatever. So they don't really have that one though. And I do also have one of the original Psycho, Zayn. Zayn is not a psycho. He just dressed up as a psycho.
To infiltrate the Psychos. Wasn't it kind of?
Kind of. So, there, we can see it's one of the original Silver Rangers with this one. And the scaling isn't all that bad, with the Bandai and the Hasbro versions.
Are they both 6 inches?
I think this one's more like 5 and change, and then This one would be, it's a little bit taller. So yeah. Yep. Ah! This happens all the time. You're trying to pose them, stand them up, one falls, and they all topple. And you have to repose them. There we go. And of course, Psycho Green made his debut in the comics.
Yeah, he wasn't originally in the show. He was in the comics.
Yeah, it was just the 5 black, pink, blue, yellow, and red. Those were actually Psycho Rangers because Astronema corrupted another Ranger team. There's more about that in the comics. And then Psycho Green was actually the first one that I think it was Dark Spectre. He corrupted him first, but he was already pretty messed up because they came from where they come from. The Time Force Ranger with the crystal in his head. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
What was his name? I forget his name.
Sky?
No, Sky was in SPD.
Oh.
Well, anyways, they came from the same planet as him, and the Green Ranger was on that Ranger team. He was always kind of like auxiliary, and then there was a point where he just had enough and just started killing them. And then the part got real dark where he says to the Red Ranger, look into your future and what do you see? And it's because they get like feelings. They can see the future sometimes. They can see across distances. They have like empathetic powers with the crystal. Zybrian. That was their species, Zybrian. And the Red Ranger says, I see nothing. He's like, that's right. And then just killed him right there. So that got pretty dark. But yeah, there's more about that in the comments. In the comments. In the comics. So there you go. So this is the Silver Psycho Blue Ranger 2-pack. Yep. So I like them. I'm closer to completing my in space team now. I pretty much just need the Pink Ranger, and then I would have all of them. So yeah. I liked it. Silver Psycho was, even though he was only there for one episode, he had one hell of an impact because he never actually got a figure, but yeah, it was a long time coming. So I liked it, I just wish that the pre-orders wouldn't take half a year to get to there after the ship date. So yeah, so this was the Psycho Silver Blue Ranger 2-pack. So like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.